upcoming games, you guys are kind of going through a gauntlet right now. Just looking at your first SEC opponent tomorrow, how are you guys feeling going into the matchup?
I mean, I think we're feeling pretty good. We've taken a lot of time to kind of watch what they do, go over their scout, but obviously SEC is a really good conference, and any team we play out there is going to be tough. So we know it's going to be a challenge for us, but we're excited to see how we play through it.
Undefeated at home right now at Mackey Arena. Going into this SEC opponent that's pretty daunting, to say the least.
Yeah.
How are you guys going to try to remain undefeated at home?
Yeah, I think that's one of our big goals for the season is to, protect Mackey, and I think having that home court advantage will hopefully help us out a bit and just help us play a little more confident, a little more comfortable. But we know it's going to be a challenge either way, but we're excited to be back at Mackey.
So now looking at the last game against Southern, first half didn't really go as planned. Second half was a much better show. What happened in between, like at that halftime, that you guys kind of said in order to get back on your horse and kind of perform the way that we've seen you guys perform all last year?
Yeah, I think we just came out really slow. We weren't hitting shots and weren't really playing as we know we could. And I think at halftime, the coaches held us accountable, but we also held each other accountable that this is not the way we wanted to play. And I think the second half we came out and we showed glimpses of who we're trying to be and who we're working towards in practice. And I think just having that more consistently throughout the season will be helpful.
So what are some of those other tough lessons you learned from the first two games that you guys are going to take into these next several games?
Yeah, I mean, obviously our first game was a tough one. UCLA is a great team, and so we learned a lot from that, not only basketball-wise, but just how we can be there for each other and, kind of pick each other up when things aren't necessarily going our way. And we had moments like that against Southern too, but I think we definitely responded better. And that translates to, hitting shots and making the right plays. Just kind of having that cohesiveness and togetherness translated for us on both ends of the floor.
Now, speaking of having togetherness and cohesiveness, is it a little bit difficult to kind of mesh with all of these new freshmen, even though you guys have been training since the summer?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. I mean, we obviously have a lot of new pieces that are kind of being thrown together at once, but, they look to us and we are holding them accountable because we need them. And so I think that there's a level of respect between, the young ones and the older ones, and we come together really well on the court, and I think that will just continue to grow and get better.
Now, speaking of the young ones, Mary Ashley Stevenson has really kind of stepped up for your team,
Yeah.
not only in the UCLA game, but also in this past game against Southern as well, being a really good player on the floor and kind of being everywhere at once. How is it playing with her?
I mean, I love playing with her. She's just a great person all around. But on the court, she's a fighter, and she's going to get down there and do the dirty work and do, what needs to be done. And just having her on the court definitely makes us more physical and makes us tougher. And I just love playing with her as a fellow post player. We can both stretch out to the three and kind of interchange those positions. So it's been fun, having more time on the court with her.
And now, speaking of players, how does it feel playing with your sister?
Yeah, that's the big topic this year. All the sisters on the team. It's definitely special for me because we're the only ones who have never actually played together. So, having her on the court at practice, having her on the bench, and playing with her it's a great opportunity, and it's definitely a nice way to end my career.
Perfect. Looking forward to your trip to the Bahamas. Obviously, you guys have a big game tomorrow, but since we might not be able to talk to you before the Bahamas, what are some goals that you guys have set for this away trip?
Yeah, I mean, these trips are obviously important in terms of basketball, and I know we have two really tough SEC teams again, so we're going to be locked in and focused on that. But we're also trying to, enjoy the trip and enjoy being with each other, and it's kind of an opportunity to bond a little bit, and we're going to be together for about a week, so it's an opportunity to bond a little bit before we get into the heart of the season, but we're definitely going down there with the goal to win those games and just kind of be able to enjoy some time together too.